I'd like to invite everybody to a new year, new work session for the month of January. Go ahead and get started today. We're not feeling too well. Got us here. We'll go ahead and start with Ms. Leslie CLINE with tourism.
Most of y'all have seen that, but it's the proposal from Buffalo Rock for the facility. Since we were getting nowhere with Coca-Cola, then I reached out to Buffalo Rock and they came with this proposal. It's a 3-year proposal. I think the event committee voted to be good with it, so I'll just wait on the contract and forward that to you guys. But there's their proposal for the multi-purpose center.
Thank you very much.
And that'll come in the form of a contract. I should have it today from David at Buffalo Rock, and then I'll forward that on to legal, and then y'all can assign it. But the event committee did approve it, and like I said, since we were not getting anywhere with Coke.
All right.
And that is all I have this morning. If we don't have to talk about the traffic contract.
No, I don't think we're ready to talk about that yet.
Yeah.
You guys back?
I don't know.
Thank you very much. Next we have District Attorney Thomas Casey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think y'all know I'm here to discuss reinstatement of PA funding that we were unaware had been removed in the last budget year. I'm open to any questions. We were informed we didn't need to attend the budget sessions. That's why we were not here. It's my understanding the question was asked why we weren't here. We were told we didn't need to be here. I'm more than willing to address any other things in executive session you want to address. But you know, we spent a good bit of money, our funds, in that building down there in addition to what y'all did. And then the next year we got our money cut. So we took a double whammy. And you know, I'll just say that I'm asking the money to be reinstated. We've been funded for over 10 years, if I do my math right, started back when I was in, well, close to 10 years. And we were not even notified that the funding had been cut until we requested the payment be made. It's been made to state treasurer. It doesn't go to me or any of my projects. It goes to the state treasurer. And so it's a little concerning to me that we were not notified that until we requested the funds like we always do. So we'd ask that funding to be restored. I'm more than willing to discuss anything you'd like to in executive session, and we'll kind of leave it at that. And ask to be put on the next agenda for the commission.
For the business meeting?
I'm sorry?
For the business meeting?
Yes.
All right. Well, I don't have any questions right now. I think questions would be.
When is the commission meeting next Thursday?
Tuesday. Either 10th.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. 13th, yeah. Look at that over there. Next old business, considered disc golf at Palisades Park. I've not heard anything. The last I understood that they were going to get back to us with a more formalized plan and at least more of a formal correspondence from the park board. I have not heard anything. I don't know.
I talked with Jeff at the parks, and it sounds like there's still a lot more to be talked about.
Yeah.
So he's not against it.
Yeah.
There's just needs to be.
Yeah, we need to see an overall plan. Like where's it going?
I'm not sure how the course is set up right now. It's how they want it to be set up.
On to new business. Consider approving minutes of December 4th meeting and claims for month of December. Next, I guess you can help us out, Scott. Next is consider district attorney office floor plan change request. You got a little insight on that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Commissioners, Mark and I, she told Mark exactly what she wanted. It's essentially removing one door and placing up another wall.
There's
3 different locations.
there's three different things. The first, when you first walk up to their half door, if you look, instead of walking in, if you look to the right, there's a little bit of a hallway, there's a restroom there, and then that door leads into the backside of their offices. So when you walk up to that door, they wanna put a door right here where that kind of, you know, keeps that just their office area. That's the first thing, and then the next thing is, if you walk in the front door, where Miss Joyce says, when you walk in to the right, there's an office there that, there's another office on the backside of it, and there used to be a doorway between the two. Scott, tell me if I'm
No,
wrong.
that's correct, there used to be a doorway there.
And there used to be a doorway there, and then they finished the wall in,
That's right.
and now they want that wall down. I don't know if they just want it to be one big office, I assume, I don't know. So that's the next thing, and then where the conference room is, there's a hallway on this side that has a door, and then where the entrance is on this side where the door is. I don't remember which one, but one of them they want to not be a door. Do you remember the hall where Pamela's office or the other side?
Probably on Pamela's side of it, because the door would be about on the other side of the bathroom, right? And then it'd be like an open hall.
No, this would be, that was the first thing. This one, it passes through what's considered a conference room. It's got a door on the other side. I feel like it's the side closer to her office.
I would think that would be correct.
I think. But regardless, it'd be the same work, it's just what side is it on?
How does that?
We both can look at it later afterwards, I'll show you. But it does not interfere with the newer work that we're doing.
Should it change order or anything?
I mean, it would be a change, no, not for the project that we're doing right now, not for heating and air, not for electrical. And if it needs to be done, it needs to be done right now, just because of the painting. And as it stands,
No cost change. I mean,
We
nothing
could,
major if they're just,
nothing major.
yeah, nothing major.
Item 7, consider allowing Principal Lux Worker to host a native plant sale at King's Bend on April 4th.
This is a scenic overlook.
At the scenic overlook, pretty much be in the parking lot, not on the bridge itself, but. 8, consider approval of rollover funds for Palisades Park fiscal year 25 special donations, just Christmas lights and any other donations that would come through. 9, consider resolution for Sugarland Lake paving project. That's for the overruns. Do we have a number on that?
I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000, I can't remember, do you remember exactly? It's somewhere in that neighborhood.
And that was for the community block development grant,
That's right.
one that I kicked off and chased all through. Who's gonna prepare that resolution?
We already have it.
Okay.
Kevin prepared.
Item 10, consider board appointments for M4H for the following individuals. Myself, Bonnie Monty, Amy Burgess, and Kathy Irvin, term ending in January 2026. I've spoken to everybody. They're all interested in returning with the exception of Ms. Monty. She's been on it for a while. I think she's kind of ready to slow things down a little bit. Personally, I'm still interested. I'm fairly active on the board. Amy and Ms. Burgess and Ms. Irvin have both stated that they would like to remain unless there's somebody that's more willing to take on that mantle. They do not know anybody, and I do not know anybody that would be interested, but they are both interested in remaining and serving another term. Line 11, consider board appointments for the multipurpose advisory board for the following individuals: Van Aldridge and Glenn Graves. Their terms ending this month.
Are those?
Is
I
Van
know
over
Glenn
there?
is a school appointment. Is Van a school appointment?
yes.
Okay.
I know he's on the board of education, and I know they put him over when it was initially put on there was because he's a ag teacher or whatever his
He's the teacher
title
there.
is now. And same way with Glenn, we both wanted people in agriculture on there. I know that.
You mind reaching out to Rodney?
Do we know if Van wants to go back on?
I haven't talked to either one of them.
No,
Glenn
Glenn,
retired.
yeah, well, Glenn's no longer on the board of education, so I would feel like that
That's true. You got to.
line needs to change. And I don't know, I think there's people that's looking, I think there's been a conversation with Rodney Green about somebody's taking his place. I don't know who that is. And I guess we need to reach out to Van before Tuesday and see if he's still willing to serve.
So since he's retired, he wouldn't be able to be on it anyways.
Right.
I'll reach out to Roger. Line 12, consider board appointments for the Economic Development Council for the following individuals. It's Mitchell Hastings, which is actually a D3 appointment, Juwan Farmer, which is a pretty sure a D4 appointment, and then Danny Kelly, chairman appointment. I have spoken to Danny, he still wants to serve, and from what I understand, everybody else
Yeah,
is.
Everybody else, yeah, I talked to all of them individually, so, and they've all been good board members, so, yeah, we don't put how long
This is a pretty, isn't this board remain static?
it,
This particular makeup?
yeah, it does, normally you don't replace these people unless there's some reason, you know, that, I mean, they like to, in economic development, usually at least more member changes, the better you have, as long as they're communicating with their commissioners and they're either through me or their municipalities, usually they stay the same, most of the time they serve, there's no limits on that. Statewide, most people that serve on IDVs and economic development boards serve on them for, you know, 15 years sometimes, so, yes, particularly the chairman rarely changes. You gotta have people you trust, right?
That's right.
You get in some situations that you guys know.
Item 13, consider District 1 contracting with Summertown Metals for purchase of building. Well, unless anybody's got any other insight on that, we'll wait on Mr. Armstrong.
It's, he had mentioned that, I think it's somewhere around $68,000.
And that's just for his shop.
Yeah, it would be,
It says in addition to the shop.
14, discuss insurance inspections.
Alan told me to put this one on here about just if things aren't completed by the time they come back around for the next inspection, just what are we gonna do? Mark and I have talked, and we think it would be best to put, like, it increases the percentage of what you would pay annually. And if you don't have it done by the 1 year mark, we hire somebody to get it done, and it comes out of that budget.
Item 15, discuss possible joint venture partnership. I know I've been contacted, Mr. Armstrong's been contacted, I don't know if y'all have. Director Walker had reached out, their assistant director / HR person has put in their 2-week notice. A couple years ago, before he had hired that person, he had approached members of the commission about trying to either contract out work or have a partnership where county resources would be utilized to help 911. This next inquiry was about whether or not they could give us a little extra money to either hire somebody else or, you know, supplement any extra work that we would have to do. After talking with the administrator and HR on our side, I think it would be kind of complicating things. I don't think we're equipped to do that right now. Has he reached out to y'all?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're going to probably talk about it in executive.
Yeah, as far as I know, we're supposed to talk about it in there, and Mark is supposed to be kind of running some numbers and stuff, so we can actually look at it.
I think there's a lot of different variables there.
There's some basic administrative variables like you all have been discussing, but there's also some, legal issues that, could result in, if you did this, it could result in claims potentially in the event that you did it in a certain way. There are certain ways to pull it off, for sure. But there, so those kind of things that you need to be apprised of, just to make sure that you know all moving parts. And so I can tell you what those problems could be, what could cause, issues, and then we can, figure out in the meeting whether or not you want to move it forward.
All right. Thank you, council.
16, approve a letter of intent to be executed in regard to county mining operations on potential lease property.
Of course, that's an executive session item, in contemplation of what you all are willing to, contract for in the acquisition of the property. And so, that's another executive session, allowable discussion.
Then, item 17, discuss maritime development project.
Yeah, that's basically a major expansion that the Marshalls, development there in Oneonta. This is about going to double the size. And, it's just, we have a letter of intent from Oneonta participating in the incentives, which would be paid up front. And basically what we would do would be pay a small portion of that. Over about a 9-year period, the revenues, the initial build out of this project is gonna be around $20 million. And then the overall revenue is gonna be about $24 million a year. So our contribution for this is gonna be relatively small. And what it allow Oneonta to do the upfront incentives and allow financing for the incentives. And so it's a win-win for everybody. I mean, it's just part of, and we've got probably at least 2, maybe 3 other things that'll be added to this when, and not only anticipate any more incentives to be, to be required for any of those, because they've been negotiated without incentives. And the only other exposure we could have, and Dustin and I talked a little bit about this, and I think it'll be absorbed by A-Trip grant that Oneonta's gonna apply for, be the red light. And we've kind of been on the hook for a red light in that area for a long time. We've never put any money forward to it. We set aside some money one time for it, but we didn't have to do it. And I think it was A-Trip has agreed that it would, we'd be able to widen 39 and you get the light paid for. And so I don't think we'll have exposure, but just to make the commission aware that at some point in time, it's gonna create a tremendous amount of traffic. Hopefully, with this kind of expansion, there's gonna have to be a lot of traffic. So, just to let you guys know, that's kind of the gist of it. And the letter of intent's been supplied to us from Oneonta, and so I'm sure that that's something that, if it needs to be reviewed in executive or whatever, everything's pretty clear cut. So just kind of make you aware of it.
Mr. Chairman, the goal of that is to, authorize an agreement based upon the terms of the letter of intent, should you accept it.
The county wouldn't be incurring any debt. There'd be no debt. We would just be paying our part as we go along. We wouldn't be participating. We wouldn't be signing off on the debt.
And this would be strictly a, participation agreement with the city and nobody else.
Right. Correct.
I spoke with Brandon Horton yesterday, the city, about the traffic signal, and I don't know if he was aware how the HRIP program works, but the projects were just due like a month ago. So they missed that deadline, so it'll be next fall before they can apply for it. And I don't know that, I think he was hoping for a faster time frame, because even if they get awarded, it won't be till this time next year or later. And then you gotta go through the ALDOT process, which takes some time. So, they're looking for other potential grant opportunities, through the DECA, maybe or
Yeah,
something.
and I talked to the developer, and they're not holding us to the exact date that they open. I mean, they realize that traffic flows there anyway, and they said, if we could get it, find the grant that would pay for most of it, they wouldn't hold us to that. It's in the contract, but they don't have a time limit on it. And so, and if Oneonta is agreeable to do that, I think we should wait on the A-Trip grant, because essentially, the prices we got initially think a DECA, if we went through a DECA, even if we got some CDBG money based on hiring low and moderate income people to work there, which they've agreed to sign off on that, but our liability could still be $7,500,000 if we split the match, to be honest. I think it's worth trying to play the Atria angle, you know, to do that. And then if Atria won't pay for it, you know, Aldott actually has a fund of money for this type of project. And so I still think our match would be less, even if we might be able to do it in kind. Like, you know, we could technically widen 39 because that's part of the rebuild Alabama. That is a rebuild Alabama, right? I mean, you could if we had to. So I think if we want to minimize, I think I think the commission does minimize our investment. Let's see if we can go to the Atria route. If we don't, let's see if we can take whatever Aldott will give us and then match that. I mean, I talked to the deck and they're more than willing to give us, but you know, they're only going to give us about 75% of the money. You know, that's all they can do. They can't give us the full grant, and I think we can do it through Atria. That's fine, and as long as our developers ready, you know, willing to wait on us, I think it's a no-brainer to do that.
And Atria does not require a match. You know, we're awarded this project on 231 with no match. So I told Brandon that before, when they apply for it, you know, they need to get a resolution of support from our commission, which I don't think that'll be hard to get. But that would help his application because we do have involvement because we maintain County Road 39. So they're going to have to get approval from us to get the project. But they may ask, you know, for us to match the project because that is a more appealing application if you do match it, but they don't have to. They don't want to.
Thank you. Next is consider various budget amendments for $378,561 to Rickwood Cabins Project. $31,120 to recoveries on insurance for Sheriff's Department. $3,200 for DEA reimbursement, Sheriff's Office. $3,505 to Otaga County reimbursement for jail. $181 Town of Highland Lake to District 3. $3,481 recoveries on insurance for transportation. $500 Highland Lake fundraiser for animal shelter. $1,020 BioCorp for animal shelter, and $28,000 for animal shelter. Then $27,500 from the Town of Rosa to District 4, and then $1,450 for the Town of LOCUST for District 4. And $1,685 from Progress Rail to District 3. And $532 Palisades Park donations, and then $5,196 for park donations, and another $3,101, and then $4,506. Those just, what's the breakdown on those?
That is the Christmas lights for this year.
Okay, just weekly.
That's right. For the whole month of December.
What is the 34, 31 on the sheriff? Is that a car that got totaled or something?
Yeah, I think it was a Tahoe that was wrecked.
It was the red Tahoe with the payment on the, like where they sell.
Okay.
Last on the general list is update on courthouse renovation. I'd like to invite y'all to take the time to go up there and look at it. It's dusty, but we're, as far as putting all the vents in, about 85% done. Currently waiting on the engineers with the architect to come in and solidify their plans and allow our general contractor to help move on forward with their project. So we're kind of a hold pattern right now. Other than that, it's running fairly smoothly. Of course, we haven't really started cutting into the concrete there in the roof, but it's moving forward. Now we're just waiting. And then next takes us to reports from engineer.
Item 20 is a Rebuild Alabama, report for fiscal year 25. As part of the Rebuild Alabama law, this report has to be submitted and approved by the commission, at the first meeting in January. And like I said, this report is just a summary of, fiscal year 25 expenses out of the Rebuild Alabama account, which would be our craft fund and our federal aid exchange fund. So we have a pretty extensive list of projects that I would put up against any county in our state. We've gotten a lot of roadway work done. Through Rebuild Alabama, fiscal year 25 was probably the most, 38 total projects. It's probably the most we've done in 1 year. So I want to run through the projects and kind of do a summary, and then if you have any questions, I'd like for y'all to look over this over the weekend and let me know if there's anything missing or if there's anything that doesn't look right before we approve it on Tuesday. So the first project was Beaverstown Road, Lost Bridge, which we expended out of Federal Exchange Fund, $666,487.31. And that's just in fiscal year 25. The project ended up more than that, but some of it was out of fiscal year 26. So that was a bridge replacement project. The first, number 2 through 16 there, that's District 1. That's the projects he finished in fiscal year 25. They were all resurfacing projects, and he expended $290,148.68 out of his craft fund. And he completed every project, so there would be no carryover of those projects. Index 17 through 26 is District 2, and he expended $294,067.34 out of his craft fund. And District 1 and 2 will both have a carryover amount for this upcoming fiscal year that was approved in August. Index 27 through 35, that would be District 3. And he had a list of roads here that was on their transportation plan for the fiscal year that he was not able to get to, and that's because throughout that year, at the time of approval, he didn't know that we were going to be awarded the CDBG grant for Sugarland Lake, so his attention shifted to that project, which was about 11 miles of road, so he had to expend a lot of energy on that project and was able to complete it. So the only roadway was Tidwell Hollow Road that was completed for $62,200.71. So these other road projects will be in fiscal year 26, will be done this summer. And then District 4 did 2 projects, Valley View Lane, Smith Road, for a total of $51,213.66. And then 38, County Road 9, that was a project that carried over from fiscal year 20. That was a federal funded project that back in 2020, we agreed to put some Rebuild Alabama money towards it so we could do some, the area on the Banger side of County Road 9 that wasn't eligible for the federal funding. So we ended up using $132,310.76 for that project. So the beginning balance of our craft account was $977,000. We received a little over $1.3 million throughout the year. So the total, cash at the end of the year was a little over $1.6 million in the craft account. So that's a pretty healthy account there. For our federal aid exchange fund, our beginning balance was $347,000, and we actually received $400,000 every year for that, and then we have $11,910 of interest in the account. So the account's actually in the negative ended the year in the negative $39,000, but we received another $400,000. Have we received that yet? We haven't. So we've already received the $400,000 to bring that account back up to positive. So, the next page is just a map showing all the projects. So, a lot of work that was done this year. So you guys, kudos to your crew for getting all this work done. And if there's any questions, like I said, if you look it over, make sure everything looks good. By Tuesday, if I need to make any changes over.
Looks good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item 21 is just to have it spread upon the minutes on Tuesday, a Rebid Alabama certificate of compliance for fiscal year 25, which is another thing, according to law, we have to turn in to the legislative delegation. It's just certifying that all our contracts were properly bid using our LDOT approved suppliers and contractors.
Listen, do I have to post this like we did the plan?
Well, it has to be turned into ACCA, and they haven't turned it into the legislators. I don't think so. Let me look into that. Item 22 is a resolution of support to consider for the Rebuild Alabama Annual Grant Program, which would be a project to replace a bridge on Warrior Creek Road. So the Rebuild Alabama Annual Grant Program is it's $10 million statewide that all the counties are going after. You can apply for up to $350,000 of that money. If you apply for $350,000, then you have to match it $100,000. If you apply for just $250,000 or less, you don't have to match the money. So last year we applied for the $350,000 with a $100,000 match, and my recommendation would be to do the same thing this year and just keep. This will be the third year if we choose this bridge. This will be the third year we've applied for it. So hopefully the third time is charm. But thankfully,
That is the last wood deck bridge still in use in our county, right?
correct.
Dustin, if they said anything about when they're going to play strawberry bridge.
So that's a good point he brought up. The bridge on 231 in the same vicinity, we kind of used that in our application last year,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll do the same thing this year. I know I don't think it's been lit yet, but it's in the letting. So I think this year will be lit. My understanding is that when the people are trying to crank time,
Bridge.
yeah, I'm really concerned about, county roads if that's what they choose to do. I have not seen the plans yet, so I don't know. That's what I've heard.
Way to get around it.
Yeah.
So, but I talked to them about not using Warrior Creek as an option,
Right.
because that would be crazy, but, we don't know about it.
It's a one lane,
It
wood
is
deck
actually a one-lane bridge, and it's,
3-ton weight limit.
Posted, yeah.
but it cuts about 4 miles off the beach.
Yeah.
But they talked about doing cars on, I don't think they're going to, are they?
Do what?
They talked about doing that, using Warrior Creek as a car only ditch. But I told them, I said, that number's wooden bridge plus 2 cars can't make it
No, on the whole road.
on the whole road.
And all the big trucks, I don't know what they're gonna do.
You can put signs up
You
on
could put
covered
some
bridges
car
and
traffic
they
that
still
way.
knock the ends of them
But
off.
you
They,
could put
they don't
any
listen.
trucks, it's 3-ton weight limit.
No, you could put a truck.
And even if they don't go that way, they would probably go down Wallace Road, which is also a bridge that
Yeah.
we maintain.
They're thinking about going down New Harmony and coming back the other way, which would bring you further up, but that's about a 4.5 mile ditch, maybe more.
They don't have room there to leave that bridge open while they build a new one, right?
Yeah.
Is that? On 231.
They could leave Warrior Creek open.
No, I'm talking about the state project.
Oh, no,
They're gonna have to close 231 there for get this. Yeah, there's something
And
else.
if you go down Hopewell Road, then you go ahead and get back to
No.
231, I mean, you know, you'd be going, I don't know where you can go. I mean, but now you go down New Harmony, go back out further up, and that's not a bad way, but still big trucks, I don't know. I think they're gonna have to detour up 67 for truck traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the only logical thing to do, because there's no other way. Because, you know, if you come off at Summit and go back that way, you still gotta come across some of Coleman County roads that's one lane. I mean, technically, I mean, they're not classified one lane, but you know, you've been out there. So I think that's a problem. It'd be a great time to, we can get the money to replace that, while we close all that off at one time, while they're doing and all like that.
Thank you, Dustin. No immediate reports from the county attorney. Guess we'll letter for executive session Tuesday.
That's right, security issues, potential litigation issues, based on the request of the district attorney, I'm not sure what category of exception that would fall in. Off the cuff, I don't have one. It would have to be just explained in more detail if we were to allow that conversation in there.
Takes us to our announcements. Blount County Commission work session will be Thursday, February 5th, 2026 at 9 a.m. The business meeting will be held on Tuesday, February 10th, 2026, 9 a.m. The next business for this month will be this upcoming Tuesday, the 13th.
So just to clarify, do y'all want me to remove number 4 about the park until they're ready?
Yes. If y'all don't have anything further,